Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day today. Happy Thursday, September 26th. We're almost to October, and today we enter the spleen in the sun. So I'm super excited. I have a completely open spleen. This center is so mystical for me. I receive so much in this gate, and I love watching it. I love the dark times. I love going into the fall. And it's really cool because the spleen is our place of primal fears. So over the next 6 weeks or so, 7 weeks, we're going to go through all of these different fears, like our deepest fears as human beings. And so isn't it so funny that we go through that and we do Halloween during that time? It's like we really kind of embrace it together. Like we go into the darkness together. It takes us into, the wintry months, and then we can really go into that winter time. And so I love being here, and I'm excited to share about Gate 18 with you today. Next Wednesday, we are going to do a power and personal view video, and it's going to be me, Tiara, Hanale, Lily, Philippe, and there might be a couple more from our class that we do. We're going to call it HD Salon. And so you can catch us. I don't know exactly how we're going to post that and things, but it's definitely going to be on the website. I'll make a page, and then you'll be able to find any of the videos that we do going into the future. And so, okay. Correction and opinion. This is the energy of the day. And I woke up and I feel like I saw it everywhere. Like we are looking at our collective processes. It's like these port strikes are a big thing. The hurricane and all of the preparedness and the evacuation and all of these things, like these are all big collective system-y type things. And I'm really seeing it too in gender, relationships. The best thing that we can do is just be open, like changing our opinion or trying something new. Neither of those things hurt us, and they can be really valuable. So I'm going to kind of do a long video today and dive into these energies as the foundation, since it's the first day. So let's see. Let me say this first. Our understanding of life and self is changing. The bargain's breaking. And so that's why we have to learn how to be flexible with these beliefs and opinions and things. Like I can put on any belief and opinion, I can take any belief and opinion off of me. It's like we can treat it that way, and we can be open to changing our opinion and understanding a different opinion. Like that can all be so valuable. And it's like the things, like the past doesn't equal the future. The past has never equaled the future. It never will. It's so easy to look at society and think that it's just going to progress into the future forever. But a religion is here to tell us that it doesn't. You can look at pretty much any religion and see a fall. You can see this cyclical thing that happens where we reach this, precipice, and then we begin to decline. And it's really just a one step back, two steps forward thing. That's the way I look at it. And it's like, the things that brought us here won't take us there. Okay. Like we can look at something so simple. There's a big traveling trend happening in America right now called medical tourism. And it's happening because our medical industry is broken. People are literally paying money to get on planes and fly to other countries so that they can be treated for their wounds. I wish somebody would tell that to the immigrants who walk hundreds of thousands of miles to try to get into our borders. It's like, it's absolutely insane what we're seeing today. And the best thing that we can do is keep our opinions, our correction, all of that focused out there. It's not personal. Humans aren't supposed to have to change to fit into shitty systems. We're supposed to change shitty systems so that humans fit into them in a joyful, satisfying way. So it's like we are at a point in time where we're changing the systems and we're changing our minds and we're understanding new things. And so this might feel a little heavy today, but it's worth it. And it doesn't have to be. This can be such a joyous, vital, life-bringing energy. And it doesn't have to be heavy at all to let go of anything. Okay, so welcome to the dark times. We're in the spleen. This is awareness in the now. Our primal fears are here. We are in the immune system. So as we go through the fall months, it's really great to take care of your immune system. You can even do extra things. You can do vitamin C and baking soda, natural things, CBD. Just watch your body and feel inside of it and go through the day wanting to feel good, wanting to do the right things for yourself. Look at yourself and feel your body and make sure that you actually feel good and that you're not lying to yourself, because all of our immune systems are just going to be, if we think of them like a washing machine, it's like mine will get turned on and all of a sudden I can process all of this stuff that I've accumulated in my spleen. And so I might get sick. It was so classic that I would be sick at this point in time as a kid. And I think so much of that is about coming into these splenic gates, and I would finally get the ability for my immune system to do some of the things that it needed to do. And so the name of this line is Conservatism, and that is the foundation of correction. And it's awareness of what's vital or not, like what works, what brings life, what makes human happy, what is easy for human, what's practical and efficient, how can we change it to make it better for human, And it's all about concentrating, repeating, recognizing what's happening, and then perfecting it. So it's like, oh, I see a problem. If we just did XYZ, maybe we could correct that. So we try XYZ, it works or it doesn't. We try, and we correct. And it's important. And it's for, the basic fundamental rights of human beings. Like, this is what we're serving when we do something like this. And so this is all about holding on to traditional patterns in spite of changing circumstances. It's going to be a gradual modification. So, okay, maybe I can be open to trying this correction, seeing this thing, looking at it in this way. Or the other side is rigidity that guarantees deterioration. Because if you just do what you're told and what you've been told works isn't working anymore, you're going to encounter deterioration. And so we're looking at things and we're like, what brings life for us? How can we make these things better for us? And this is the place in the body where we store salt. It's the stored possibility to correct the patterns, AKA challenge authority. I'm going to try not to cry when I say this. Lot's wife is the energy to challenge authority. And that does make me cry. She was so worthy of her destiny, and we need her as she is now. She was so purposeful, and looking back, so human, so true, so honest, and she challenged authority. And today, I don't know if we need anything more than the ability to challenge our authority figures. And so it's like, when we look at this authority figure, it can be anything. It can be parent, it can be teacher, mentor, spouse, it can be anyone. We don't realize when we're making another person our authority. And we each have the ability to know for ourselves, like, we can be our own authority, and we don't just have to blindly believe the things that are said to us. And so something that's important about correction, if it doesn't bring value, then leave it alone. Like, if what you're doing is taking the joy away, like it's removing peace and satisfaction and success, like, then don't do that. Leave it alone. Go somewhere else, try something else, let it be what it is. Maybe you're just being overly critical and you're driving yourself nuts. It's like, correction is good when something needs to be corrected. But when we are correcting because we are distorted within ourselves, that doesn't feel good. It's not purposeful for yourself or for others. And so you can look at it and say, is it helping or harming humans? We can recognize imbalance in the systems, the behaviors, the processes, and then we can dive in. We never have to correct human, but we can correct behavior. We can correct what is said. We can change any of these things, but it's not the actual human itself that needs to change. It's not the passenger consciousness that we all are. And so when we talk about this authority, this line is so much about the paternal side. So like the father, and it's about changing dad's traditions. Okay, I have a great story about this that I want to talk about it. It's like, we can change dad's traditions or live out his past. And I think this is something that men struggle with heavily in their marriages. Like, they're never really in their marriages because their authority figure is one of their parents, usually their dad, and it's like, we can't just listen to dad over who's doing life with us. Like, we can't listen to dad over the way things are changing now. And it's like my dad. So my dad died in his 40s. And it was really interesting for me because I would watch him do this thing around breakfast. Anytime that he would make some like greasy, unhealthy breakfast, he would be like, like, everybody acts like this is so bad. And it really wasn't. It was like eggs, bacon, fried potatoes. He'd be like, everybody acts like this is so bad. But I watched my grandpa eat like this every day until he died at like 97, and every time we would do this breakfast, I would hear this story. And it's like, I would look at it and be like, okay, like, we can believe that, and you can just do that forever, or you can like watch yourself. Like, does it feel good in your body? Do you like it? Like, does it give you the fuel you need for your day? Like, just because grandpa doesn't mean for you, and it's like, we can challenge that. We don't have to take that to the grave. We don't have to do things that aren't healthy for us. Like we have the ability to challenge that authority and be our own for ourselves. And so it's a gradual modification of judgment. The way I was raised is right, so I'm right. Or the way I was raised, maybe that's not so right today. Maybe I'm not right, and it's fine. Like we don't have to be right. We have to be healthy. We have to help each other survive and be vital, So it's like, who cares about putting down something that was wrong? Or like, life can prove you wrong, and that can be good and not bad. It's so interesting how we hold on to these things, and it's like we make them into our identity. And it's something I want to touch on. What do we do when we make this personal? Because it's so bad. We start wanting to change the humans, and we start defending the systems. So we have a system that really doesn't work. And maybe one of those employees is like, hey, this isn't working and I need a new printer and this, that, and the other. And instead of looking at the system and making corrections, they're going to look at the employee and try to correct them. Well, Suzanne, if you didn't do it like this, maybe we wouldn't need da, da, da. Or it's like you look at them, you're like, if you just worked 80 more hours, you'd be able to survive in this society. If you just held your nose the right way, if you read the right books, and if you take out this loan, like, whoa, no, like we aren't here to change the people. We're here to say, wait, like, why can't we get a printer? And why is the way she prints wrong? Like, you are taking all of this pain and you're putting it into this woman instead of putting it into the systems and making all of your lives better. It is such a healthier way to use the energy. And it's like when we do that, we're hurting the integrity of that individual. It feels awful. They feel like they're doing something wrong. They start trying to change themselves. And I'll tell you what, you can be this person and change your way all the way to the opposite side of the spectrum and still get the shit from that person. Don't change yourself. If the people won't work together with you to do healthy things and change the systems, then change where you're at, because changing yourself doesn't give them what they're thinking they want. It's like there's nothing there and it's like empty. And so what we can do today is trust self, trust life, challenge unhealthy authority figures for all of us. Like if there is an authority figure in my life and they don't want me to speak up on something unhealthy in their leadership circle, they don't deserve to be an authority figure. They're not helping them or you. It's like, this is such a huge topic for me. Okay. And so, of course, it's so ironic to me that this is grounded in opinion. It's almost like the 18 is like the real change and correction. Like we made change in a system. And then you've got like the opinion on the other end that just like tries to like recognize and speak about that change and share that change. And that is the opinion. So it's called openness. This is the foundation of opinion, just to have an open mind. And it is logical. So we're still in that repetition, that testing, turning it into a fact. Like we got to live it out. We got to live it out until we gain our new way of understanding. And then we got to try to attempt to understand that. It can be like a huge process. And it's the right eye. So like maybe you've heard of some of the different stories where people lose their different eye. Odin hangs upside down in tree and gains his new understanding. It's like, this is the eye that can see in the now in order to benefit our future. And so like being in the high sides of this energy, you can have a far-sightedness. You can help people now for the future. And so this is the energy to explore opinion or be closed-minded. And it is collective understanding. We have to understand that collective understanding can be very detrimental to fundamental human rights, okay? And so let's just break down a very simple opinion that was probably really easy to carry around in the 1980s, okay? Milk is good for everyone. Like there's Michael Jordan posters up in the lunchrooms and everybody's got the milk mustache, and it's like the biggest campaign that's ever happened on planet Earth. And I'm fine walking around thinking that milk is for everyone. Like if you're not giving your children milk, there's something wrong with you. Okay. And so we live a little and we realize like all kinds of people can't drink milk. And all of a sudden there's all these like gluten allergies and, rising rates of this and that and allergens. And it's like, oh, I guess everybody can't drink milk. Like milk is good for me, but it's not for everyone. Milk's not for everyone. And if we can do that, if we can set down that old opinion, pick up the new one, dive into it. Why can't everybody drink milk? Can you figure that out? Do you want to know? Go understand that. And then you have the possibility to serve people, because then you can carry around your opinion. And when you see someone going through something where they think everybody should be able to drink milk, you can be like, hey, milk isn't for everyone. You know, it's like, it's just like that. And so it's for the greater good of all of us. And being able to sit it down and pick it up, that's integrity. You know, that serves life and self. And we really can't serve if we don't know the pattern. You know, once I realized that everyone can't drink milk, I have to go understand why before I can start serving again and carrying that around and sharing it with other people. Because if I don't understand why milk's for me but not for them, I don't really have anything to tell them when we're talking about it, you know? So it's so much, we get to know the pattern for what it is now, and then we have security to share it, which is of service to the people in our life. And so this creates safe rules and leadership for everyone. Another, maybe the most negative collective belief, you can be whatever you want to be. My whole generation was raised on that. And truly, I invite you to go live that out. Go live that out, meet your limitations, accept your limitations, and then you can start living who you are, because we don't get to choose who we want to be, how much money we make, where we want to live. You know, it's like, live until you meet your limitations, and then you can find something that's a little truer for you. Here's another one. 9/11 was an inside job. Why is that debatable? Why are people running around debating that? Why don't we know? Why hasn't it been laid out and displayed and everyone sees? You know, it's like, this is bringing us to a big change that is happening right now. And that is the fact that we are moving from the energy of belief and ideas. Like, this is where education started. It started with belief. We believed history, his story, right? Belief. That's going away. And now we don't have to believe anything, because we have the ability to gain our own individual understanding. And education isn't going to begin with beliefs and ideas anymore. You know, it's like, that feels a little heavy. That means we're going to see the seeking, the testing of patterns. What's true? Do our systems actually work? Do our systems actually work? I don't have to believe what you're saying, because from my individual point of view, this is hurting me and I have to leave, or we have to do something. You know, it's like, we don't have to just stay there and hurt ourselves lost in that belief. And we have to understand that, like, authority figures, political leaders, you know, these people always promise that they have the right pattern to take us into the future, but it doesn't always work, even though they think that they have that. Our teaching for the future, it's going to have to be rooted in a deep understanding of human rights. You know, it's like, we've already seen through the time we've been living, emancipation of races. We're seeing emancipation of genders. But what it's really time for right now is emancipation of the individual. And we all get the ability to do that by finding our own authority, finding our own understanding of life as we live it. And, you know, this coming into our individual uniqueness, it kind of eliminates opinion. It's like, each gets to recognize their own nature. You know, I get to see who I am and watch myself unfold. I'll watch myself find my right people, my right place, the things that resonate with me, instead of being told how life goes and then believing that and then attempting to go live that life that I've been told about. You know, like, they're two totally different things. And right now isn't about what we believe anymore. You know, it's like, it's your individual responsibility to gain your understanding. And if we can't do that, we will believe and destroy ourselves in patterns that aren't working. You know, like, I'm watching so many people, including myself, be funneled through the college system without really much benefit. Like, the concepts of certifications and expertise at all, I think those are pretty much just going away. And we don't even know what that's going to mean. But what we can know is that it is okay for life to prove the mind wrong. It's kind of like doing that right now. And we can let it show us that what we think isn't true, and we can just sit it down. And we can just sit it down. And we can keep living while we're sitting them down. You know, we don't have to believe anything to live our life. I don't have to have a single belief to sit here and be with you guys today. And we can also know that facts and matter change. Right now, we are switching from mental awareness to emotional awareness. That means that we, the thing that perceives and understands and watches life, like, we are experiencing a huge shift in the way that we experience that. And none of us have ever lived through that. And we're all going to have to watch it and recognize it and allow it to happen, because we're not in charge of that. And so if the matter changes, is anything a fact forever? You know, if the only permanent thing is change, what is there to believe? You know, we can watch what's happening now And I think that's really like all we've got as we're coming into this wave. We can serve life and self for the future simply by opening our mind. You know, you are taken care of by life. Every belief that you sit down lets you see the life that takes care of you a little bit more. You know, you can find your inner authority, you can work with it to see as yourself, because maybe we can't do anything, but anything can happen. You know, like life is that magical. And if we just take the back seat and we let life be the leader and we respond directly to it, we can be surprised. You know, we can experience massive levels of peace and satisfaction and all of the signature feelings, because we understand our place in it, and we just sit down in our chair instead of trying to control all of it and change all of it and do all of these things. We can know that what's happening now, as we come into our own individual integrity, you know, that's a natural process, just like collective understanding is a natural process. And as this natural process unfolds, we're going to become more organized. It's like we can look at ants and bees and termites, and we can know that we've never achieved those levels of organization. To do that, each of us is going to have to get inside of our own body and come from our own authority and our own individual understanding. And then I think we're going to watch ourselves move in ways that we like literally can't imagine. Like we are going to be so much better organized and with the right people in the right places, hopefully like living our function, like what we were born being able to do. And so we are on our way to understanding the mechanics of the universe. It's inner truth time. And we can have fun with it. You know, it's like, I definitely didn't choose for this life to look like this. Like, I definitely just wanted to help people and make money and, you know, travel. But it's like, I didn't get to choose who I am. I didn't choose who I was born as or where I was born. I don't choose what I resonate to. I don't choose anything. You know, it's like, I can honor what's happening in here, and I can communicate it, and I can watch it, and I can have fun with that, more deeply understanding ourselves and life. And so keep your eyes open. We're going to be seeing real change and correction, plus opinions about it. Watch the mind think, watch the body feel, and love yourself. I hope you guys have a great couple days. I'll come back on Sunday. Bye, guys.